everyone, Shawn Clement here, Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center, headquarters for wisdom in golf, and today we're talking about what shaft flex suits you best. You are the ultimate judge for this. You can use Flight Scope, what we have here at the Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center, to help you with the deciding factors, right? So we're going to be able to tell you, how much club head speed you're getting with that particular shaft and club, and what the spin rate you're getting on it, and the smash factor. That smash factor, which they should have called it the compression factor. It's a lot better high tech doing it that way. So number one, we need a target. And many of you have been looking at me going, Shawn, what is up with this keep out sign? Well, okay, so we've got some signs in the background behind this veil that are much easier to see with the eye than with the camera. We have wet paint here. We got keep out there. The shot that I'm using to perform this particular little test today for shaft is a draw from keep out to wet paint. So I'm going to, center of my stance is right here. The ball slightly back of center. Sorry, looks like I got a splinter right here. And my club face is closed. I'm getting behind the ball. Okay, so now I need to focus on that keep out sign. Come hell or high water, splinter or not, we're going to keep out. All right, so we're going to feel a nice, powerful whip to keep out with very low effort. This is really important. We got to fine-tune this. So gather the backswing. Wow, beautiful. That felt like a full-out whip to keep out. Felt amazing. Compressed the ball great. Now, I'm dealing with a shaft that I've used for the longest time, and it's still the shaft I use today. It's the S300 shaft from Dynamic Gold. It's a heavy shaft. It's about 135 grams. So if we go to a ladies shaft, so I've got an A flex, pardon me, so a senior flex shaft for me, and I'm going to perform the same task. So get behind the ball, my attention's on keep out, nice powerful whip to keep out with very low effort. Here we go. So, man, that felt really good. I plastered that right in the center of the club face. But you notice how much higher that went. So that's spinning more. It's a little sloppier. So when I delivered my whip, it felt like the club was loading a little too much, and you'll feel there's a sloppiness to the shaft when the shaft is too soft for you. Okay, so that one's definitely out. So then, I go to a regular flex shaft in a steel, in a light steel. I'm going to do the same thing. Same target, delivering the keep out, powerful, low effort whip that way to keep out. Here we go. Oh, man, that felt good. So, really delivered a very powerful whip. The shaft's not doing too badly. I'm getting a little older. I'm 50 years old now. So the shaft's not feeling too bad. I see myself in the future going to a shaft like this, a little less heavy than what I have, because that really felt easy to whip. And it had that, that decent control. And I hit the ball in the center of the club face, so this is looking pretty good right now. So this is what we call the Dynalite in the True Temper series. And then I come back to mine, which is that Dynamic Gold S300. And I'll do the same thing again. Nice, powerful, but yet very low effort. You got to keep reminding yourself, especially me. Here we go. Yeah. That felt like I had more compression behind it. I felt like I was able to squeeze the ball a little bit more. And you'll notice that the heavier shafts, if you can handle them, will give you that ability to compress. So that's a difference, but it gives you another 2 to 5 yards as far as distance, but you'll get a little more control, a little more penetration in the flight. And then if I went to, like, a shaft I used to play is a 6.5 in that rifle shaft. And I can't play that shaft anymore. I was actually diagnosed for that shaft because of my clubhead speed. But even if you do have the clubhead speed to handle a much stiffer shaft, it doesn't mean that you need to go there. Your transition, so if you look at my transition, a lot of people tell me, man, it's like you're taking a nap at the top of the swing. You've got a very smooth transition. So my shaft loads very gradually. Now, if I had a very quick swing and I didn't know how to handle it, and I don't have the time to practice or take lessons or listen to me, then you'd probably need a much stiffer shaft, especially if you're a very strong person and you swing very quickly. You're going to need that stiffness in the shaft so that it can handle your change of direction. Okay? So, but that's entirely up to you to figure out, man, it feels like I have to work hard to load the shaft. And you'll feel like if if I remember having, a while back, I was experimenting with shafts. I actually bought the last 17 XXX shafts from True Temper. So they were the Dynamic Gold XXX 100s, or X300s, I should say. Okay, so X300, triple X, sorry, don't worry about that. So you've got this triple X shaft that feels like a telephone pole, and it felt like I had to add so much lead tape to the end of the club. So it felt like an anvil at the end of a telephone pole. And even at the time when I was very young and strong and all that stuff, I still noticed that I had a hard time loading the shaft. So yeah, I put weight on it, and it made the shaft feel softer, but there was no way I could have control over that. So that was the very, very tip of the iceberg extreme on that side. I've never gone there again. S300 is what I've always gravitated back to insofar as day-to-day, that's where I want to go. I want low effort, nice velocity, release in the direction I want to start the ball, which is the keep out sign, gather, release to keep out. Yes, I released in that direction. Yes, it was easy to produce. And yes, it felt like I have everything I'd like to have in that shot. So between the machinery and you, with this information, of course, you want to do exactly the same thing with the driver. So you want to try the different weighted shafts. So feel what it's like with a mid-weight steel shaft, between, let's say, 90 and 105 grams. Then feel what it's like with a heavier steel shaft. The Dynamic Gold shaft is really the best when it comes to that. I know KBS makes a tour weighted shaft as well. You could try that out. And then, compare it. Ask the fitter, listen, give me a ladies club or give me a senior flex club, and let me feel that. And then, okay, give me the extra stiff shaft. Let me feel that. And then that'll really help you, it'll help your brain give you a couple of more references so that you can zero in on the shaft flex that feels best. Do that with the drivers and the fairway woods as well. And actually do that with the wedges too. When you get fit for wedges, if you have that availability to try with the different flexes on the wedges, I would recommend you do that as well. All the best. See you in the next video.